Happy Sunday. May the 4th be with you. I've had a good week. You guys, and I'm just very grateful to be here. I had a really busy week. I worked a lot, and then I was off from like Friday, and I'm even off tomorrow. Um, Me and my friend Kayla, I had met her. She was on TikTok, and she had blew up on TikTok some time ago, and then me and her met um, just last week in person at church. I noticed she went to the same church as me. We started talking, and she just is a really good person. And then we just decided to go to Chicago, and we spent the 4 hour ride talking and realized that we have a lot more in common than we thought, and it's great. And she's a good person, and I'm glad I'll be, happy to see where this friendship leads me. I'm always happy to meet and talk to people that goes to church and has the same values as me now. It's a little bit easier for me not to be. I've never been a judgmental person, so it doesn't matter what someone does in my life, or if they're my friend, they're my friend. I'll do my best to push them in the right direction, but I won't be judgmental on them. If their walk with God's different than mine, then it is what it is. People don't have to do the same thing that I do for me to be friends with them. I'm friends with everybody, anybody in every type of the world, or any person that is a good person, and that's all I really look for. So I had a good week. I've been just getting more into, my Bible and reading it more. And I know this is so crazy. And I heard a story today. I was like going through TikTok and listening to stories. And I listen to different, God podcasts now, things like that. And this guy was telling a story. And he was saying that this couple, they were together, and one was a military man, and him and his wife were together, and they were happy. Well, his wife started to go blind. As his wife went blind, he was like, well, we can get through this. And so every day for like a long time, he would and she was like, I don't know how we're going to get through this. And he was basically like, we're going to get through this. I'll help you. I'll take you to work every day. I'll show you how to get to the bus. I'll show you how to do these things. When you start losing your sight, it'll be easier. So he did that. And then he was doing it so much she got used to it, and she was doing good. You know what I'm saying? She was learning her way being blind. And one day he was like, I just can't do anymore. I'm late for work, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And he was like, you got this. So the first day she goes, it was kind of bumpy, but she made it. She got to work. She was doing her job, blind, all of it. Was able to get back on the bus and come back home fine, and she started getting, better at it. Started getting, where it was just like common for her. Well, one day as she's getting on back on the bus driver's like, you are a very lucky woman. And she said, don't be silly. I'm blind. How am I lucky? And she said, well, there's been every morning that you come and every afternoon that you get off, there is a man that is in a uniform that watches you from over there. And he blows you kisses, and he basically blows you kisses and from afar. And she was like, and he was like, so I'm just assuming that must be your husband, because he watches you all the time and he makes sure that you're good all the time, and that's why I said you're lucky. And I'm not joking. The moment, and I don't even get sentimental about things like this, I started hysterically crying. I'm talking, I hysterically cried for like 10 minutes over this story, because it just hit me so powerful, because it's like the word of God. It's like he's always around and you just don't know it, and you have to put faith in yourself and and live right by the things. And then but he's always there if you need him, just like her husband was always going to be there for her and made sure that she was making the right steps. He would have intervened if something dangerous. And I feel like that's how it is. Like in my life, I was leading down a path that was dangerous for my inner self and soul. And God put either people or things in my path to see that there's a better way. And I feel like that I'm very grateful for that he has always been there. I just never called upon him. And I gave him all my worries, and I gave him all my pain, and I gave him all my anxiety. And it was like I was telling my group chat, I was like, I've just literally been living this life with nothing, with this huge hole in me, trying to fill it with men, trying to fill it with short term things, trying to fill it with anything that I could fill it with, and nothing was working. I have never been satisfied. Nothing satisfied me. It was like pouring into a grainer and it's never filling up. That's what my life was like before God. I'm not joking. That's what it was like for me, anyway. And now it's like I'm filling up and I'm full and I'm happy. And even with the steps that I'm taking, I've just started, but I'm so grateful and I'm so happy that my future is bright and I don't have no worries. I'm not stressed anymore. I'm not worried about, oh my gosh, am I ever going to find the right one for me? God has it planned out. There's nothing I can scare away. There's nothing I can not do. God has it planned out. So, and what's for me and from God, it will be for me and I will know it. I'm just so grateful. I am so grateful and I'm so happy and I've not ever felt this great. And I'm just happy for once in my life. It's peaceful. I'm getting baptized on May 11th. It's Mother's Day. My kids are going to be there. I'm very excited. I didn't raise my kids with a religion, so it's kind of hard, for them. They're not, ragging on me or nothing. They're very happy. My son, he's old enough to understand. And he was like, I'm just, Mom, you can tell you change. You can tell by your mood you're happy. Like everything about you is just so happy. And I used to stress over like when people would leave my life or I would stop talking to somebody or, this and that, I would be in anguish, like in pain and like hurting because I get so used to people. And then now it's like, hey, God was setting the path for me. God was setting the path. These people was not supposed to be in my life full time. They're only supposed to be in my life temporary. And they showed me what I needed to learn. And then I went on and I've learned and I'm doing, right. And I just want to do whatever I can, scream from the rooftops. Anybody that will hear me, I'm going to praise God. Anybody. I don't care. I'm just in a happy, and I'm going to be like this even when I'm sad. But I'm going to always have the faith that God is going to get me through. And I always felt like, in all the dark times of my life, all the dark moments of my life, that God has been there for me. Just like in that story, God has been there for me and I just didn't see him and I didn't feel him. So I thought he wasn't around, but he's always been there. And I just hope that anybody that listens takes time out and realize that sometimes, redirection from something or anything, you might be going through some things in your life like, a breakup or losing your job or losing a loved one or losing, something that you was used to and now it's gone. I just hope that you can find a way to heal from that. And for me, it's just been giving it to God and giving the pain. I don't think people understand how much pain I have been in most of my life internally. I was internally in pain. Internally doing things that just was out of character for me. Like just doing horrible things, giving men my body when they wouldn't even give me the bare fucking minimum, you guys. Sorry. I'm trying to learn how to stop cussing. But like, it's just, I look back and I see, and I like people try to come back, and I really believe this, like the devil tests. I was just talking to Kayla about this, like on some things that I have quit in the past, I feel like the devil sometimes will come back and try to get me to go to my past, and I will not do that. I'm not going backwards whatsoever. And we were in church today. Well, I was in church today, and this is something that he had put up, and it's from the 1 Peter 1 114 NLT, and it's, don't slip back into your own ways of living to satisfy your own desires. You don't know any better than. But now you must be holy in everything you do, just as God who chose you is holy. For the scriptures say, you must be holy because I am holy. And in service today, he was basically talking about, like, your past doesn't define you. If you did crazy, promiscuous, horrible things in your past, and you were doing all these things, and now you don't do those, and you have God, and you've asked God to forgive you, God will forgive you if you stay on that path. But you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't be like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna still do my stuff on the side and not, and just do it both. You can't be like that. I was that for a long time. I really was. I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I have never in the past month been as close to God as I am now and believe in Him. And I know I got a long way to go, and I know I just started, and I know that there's, people are going to be skeptical about why I'm into God and what I'm doing to God, and they're going to say things, but you know what? I don't have no time to sit around and remind people that people can change, and people can change abruptly, and people can stay with it like I'm going to. And I don't have time to sit around and be talking about my past anymore, about what I've done, or I'm looking forward to the future. And anybody else that is still hung up on my past, they can stay there, because I won't be there anymore, and I won't be discussing it anymore. I don't need to. When it comes to my personal, life. Now, I don't mind talking about, things with my mother and everything. I just never, I wish so much. I forgive my mom so much. And I didn't realize I did, but I did a long time ago. I must have forgave her for all the things. And it took me a long time to even forgive my father for the things that he did, and the things that led to the, bad things that happened to me that he did. But he died before I could tell him, he died before I could tell him I forgive him. Because I know that probably weighed heavy on him, with being an alcoholic and being abusive, and me watching him be abusive to my brother, and the things that I went through, being brutally raped as a child. And you don't understand unless you've been in that situation to where you had innocence took from you. As in, I have always felt so gross and dirty inside, even when I wasn't. So for the longest time, it was a big deal for me to give my body to somebody. It was a big deal because I felt like so many people molested me when I was a kid. So many people did nasty, disgusting ass things to me when I was a kid. Okay? And I can't reiterate that. Like, people don't understand that, what that does to your self-esteem. To be, raped and sodomized as a child, and to know certain things, and to have, and know what they feel like, and what, what I'm saying? Like, it just fucks with you so bad. There's so many times that I've tried to forget, I'm going to forget the past. I'm going to be fine. And then something triggers me, and then it spirals me back out. But I know one thing, like, I don't want to use my past as some kind of fucking thing for attention. I don't need attention. I don't care about that. When I'm speaking on what happened to me, to people, I do that for awareness, to let people know, like, this is what you need to be aware of. These are the signs of sexual abuse. These are the signs that your child's being raped, touched, or something in some point. And I'm very passionate about that. If I can save kids from being sexually abused, that would be the best thing. That'll be my life goal. It's like sex was introduced to me so young as a child. I didn't know. As I got an adult, I always led with that. I look back at the relationships I had, and I would just use sex to manipulate, because that's all I knew how to do. I didn't hold any substance with any man from my past. It was all sexual. Now that I'm looking back and I'm in a clear mind, I'm celibate. I've been celibate since March first or second. I think it's the first. But so I'm going on like 60 something days celibate, and my mind is clear, and that means I'm literally celibate and abstinent from anything sexual, physically. Now, I say that as in I was talking to somebody, a couple weeks ago, and of course we were talking sexual, but I had to come to realize that was just a sexual thing. It wasn't, he didn't want me as a person. It was you know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody just wants you sexually. And I was so blinded because I felt like God had dangled something that was missing some parts that I wanted, but he gave me a little bit of what I wanted. And I think it was a test, honestly, to see, like, are you going to keep up your promiscuous stuff? Are you still going to keep doing this to yourself? Are you still going to keep giving men all these fucking chances when they clearly show you who they are the first time? And I didn't listen. I learned my lesson this time. I did. I learned my lesson because I know that I'm not the next person that sees my body. They will be my husband. I'm not I'm not bending on that. I don't need to. I have a great personality. I'm a good person. I'm not leading with... It's really hard, though. It's really hard to not be sexual because I was programmed at a very young age. That's how you please a man. And I was programmed at a very young age that was my purpose, was to please a man. That I didn't give a fuck about myself for a very long time. And it was all about the partner I was with, pleasing them, making them happy, and I was sucked dry. And I found myself in this last time trying to do the same thing and change who the fuck I am. There are certain things about me that is great and wonderful. I'm trying to change the bad parts. I'm not trying to change that. And it seems like that people want me how they want me. They want all the sexual part. Yeah, why wouldn't they? But they don't want to know the real me. They want to try to change the real me. The real me is funny, outgoing, happy, loves to dance, loves music, And I just don't want to change those things about me to make somebody else happy. If they're not for me, they're just not for me. And I'm not going to try to make it fit no more. And I don't need to make it fit with sex. And that was the thing, is that I was programmed so early that if I went through the stage where when I was dating, if a man didn't act sexually towards me, I'd flip the fuck out and think they didn't like me because they were being respectful and actually trying to get to know me. But I was so broken inside that I only thought that I was only good as a sexual object, that a man's not going to love me past sex, that I had to be so super sexual, so super sexy, show them all this sex, show them you'll be great at sex, you'll be good at sex, tell them you'll please them in every way. But you know what? It wasn't helping me. I was left empty and void inside. They were fine. They were getting the sexual need met. And I allowed it because I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself enough to say, you know what, Brandy, you are more than your body. Brandy, you are way more than what you're showing these men. And I dumb myself down for men. I've noticed that. I'm halfway dumb, but I'm saying, like, most of the time, I don't want to show a man I'm too smart. I don't want to show a man, like, I would really tell myself, like, don't show him that you're that smart. You know what I'm saying? And like certain things, like I couldn't just relax and be myself. And I just think that I was, programmed at such a young age about sex that it kind of warped my sense with intimacy and sex. So I always took it as when a man was super sexual with me, they liked me. They really liked me. They really cared about me. No, they cared about the need I was meeting for them. But they wasn't meeting none of my needs emotionally. Ever. I can't even think of a man that met my needs emotionally. Not at all. But I met every one of their freaking needs when it come to sex. They got what they wanted from me. Look at me. Trying to show them exactly how I could please them. And it never got me anywhere. It just got me laying in bed for days so depressed because I had already gave another piece of me to somebody who I thought was going to be in love. I'm such a hopeless romantic. I just want to be in love. I want to have that feeling. I want to go to church with the man and love him and give him everything. But I want it back in return too. I don't want to sit up here and be the one that gives and gives and gives and I get nothing in return. That has been my whole life with a man. So the moment I see that I'm going to be the one always doing everything for them, I got to go because you're not going to be able to meet my needs. I know I can meet any man that I meet. I know I can meet their needs. Maybe not super emotionally, but every other way. But I'm trying to learn to be better emotionally for men. But like, they never meet my needs emotionally because I would always just be the easy peasy. Okay, it's fine. You don't want to text me that much. That's fine. You don't want to show me attention outside of sex. That's fine. You don't pay me compliments. That's fine. You don't tell me I'm pretty every now and then. That's fine. I'm okay with that because you're a good guy and I'm okay. But it comes down, I need words of affirmation. I need somebody to say, hey, you know what? You're beautiful today and I like you a lot. Because I would always come with the energy. I just would always want to give all this energy to a man and actually get it back in return. How I treat a man is how I want to be treated. And I just can't find it. I just can't find it right. And I knew it was time to take a break. I knew it was time to be done. I knew it was time to quit searching because God's going to bring to me what I'm supposed to have. It ain't going to be on a dating app. It ain't going to be me traveling to them, me doing all the effort, me doing all the work. I'm done being a doormat for other men. And I act like it's a lot, but it's never been a lot of men. Like, in person, in real life, men don't hit on me. And I was just talking to my sister about this. She was like, you're so gorgeous. Like, I'm like, well, I don't get that. Because, I'm fine. Like, I can, walk in a room and I can have people laugh. I can tell stories. I can make people laugh. I'm funny. When I walk in somewhere, I can talk. I talk to everybody. I'm happy. I'm bubbly. I'm all that stuff. But men never look at me or take me seriously. She's like, well, maybe it's supposed to be like that. And I was like, well, I've never got hit on in person, And she was like, well, one, you look mean all the time. I was like, well, I'm trying to look mean. I'm not mean. I'm very, if you walk up and you're warm, I will talk to you. It doesn't matter who you are. But if you're rude and I can sense you're a rude person, that's just not going to work for me. I don't like mean people. I don't like men that are mean, for no reason. Why would you need to be mean when you can be kind all the time? You don't have to be a mean guy, a judgmental person. I just can't be around people like that. They suck the life out of you, for real. But I sit here in my bed and I'm, I've been alone all day. I've been cleaning. I did all my laundry. I'm just waiting on my sheets to dry. I've had a lot of time to think. I went to Chicago on Friday. We just went for the day. We drove up there and drove back down. I get a little homesick when I'm away from places. So, I don't like going somewhere and staying for a long time. I've learned my lesson on that. I just want to be back at home in my safety, in my little safety net where I feel good. But I've been traveling a lot, and it's not that I'm traveling to be out here like a crazy person. No, I'm out here because I didn't get to experience it, and I want to experience everything now. I want to go and touch. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go to Niagara Falls. I want to go travel and see these things, and I want to see them with my kids, and I want to show them there's other things in life besides putting all your eggs in a basket of a marriage. It will come, but while you're young, you should be out, just listening to God. And if having a family is that for you and important, that's great. For me, it was important. I wanted a family really fast. I wanted to, I wanted to have the family. I wanted to have everything. I wanted to be in love, and it always falls down, and everybody's like, well, you'll know when it's from God. Okay, I guess I will. I guess I'm going to know when it's from God. And I believe in that. So I'm not even been focused. I've been kind of male-centered since I stopped talking to the last guy I was talking to. I think he was the last one oh, God, yeah. The last dating app situation that I'll ever get myself into. I just don't want to do it no more. And I've also realized that you just can't keep spinning the block on people. If somebody is shows you the first time who they are, believe it and move on. because they're not going to change. And now I'm a very forgiving person. If somebody like wronged me and they apologize to me, I would move on like it ain't nothing. That's how I've been. But to go out of your way to try to humble and be mean to somebody for no reason, instead of trying to just teach them in a nicer way, it just, I don't have no time in my life for that. I can't deal with that kind of stuff. And I don't want to. And I don't have to. Yeah, so I've just been dealing with that. Like, Bailey's doing good, on a roll. Great, doing good in school. Sean's more happier. He's got on a bowling league now. And I just spoke to my mom, and y'all know Mom, she's crazy. It's just crazy because my mom had all kind of money like a year ago, and now she has nothing. She had all these people around her when she had all her money, and now she has nothing. And it makes me sad for her because, like, I'm not great financially, and I can't help her. And it's really hard. I don't know if people know this, but it's really hard to see your parent, even if you had a volatile relationship. It's so hard to see my mom strung out still. It hurts. I ignore it a lot, but it's really hard. I wasn't even close to my dad, and his death affected me, and I can't even tell you where I'll be or how I'll be affected with my mom. I know she'll finally be at peace and all that stuff, but still, my mom is just like really lost, and I don't know how to help her. It weighs on me because it's like I want to do whatever I can to help her because she's done some things to help me too. But I have to like keep her at a distance because I feel like if I get close to her, and I feel like if I get close to anybody and they leave me, I don't think I can handle it anymore. Sometimes I think I'm not strong, but then I remember all of the stuff that I've been through, and I am a very strong woman. I'm very strong. That's one thing I could say about myself. I'm resilient as hell. I bounce back. Shit hurts me bad. I internalize a lot of things. When people are not nice to me, I internalize it. When people treat me bad, I internalize it. And it takes me time to work through it. But then I start remembering, like, yeah, I know I have some issues to work on. But I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve some of the things that's happened to me. And I'm a good person. And I deserve a good, healthy love. And I will get it. God's bringing my husband to me. And it's just taking some time. I don't know who it'll be. I don't know. I'll come back to this and be like, yeah, I knew it. I have no idea. And I'm not stressing about it because I'm like, you know what? It's just going to get better and better from here. There's not much going on in my life. And right now it is kind of boring. Like I just went to Chicago on a whim because I was bored. And I didn't want to sit up in the house and do, like, because boredom gets me. That's what makes me do stupid shit. Like, if I'm bored. So I've been staying so busy and just keeping my head down, focusing in the gym, being more better in there, making sure I'm going to church every Sunday, reading my Bible. And if I'm not reading my Bible, I'm listening to my Bible while I clean, or I'm doing something to stay so busy that I don't have to think about, And even though I'm staying so busy, there's times when I am utterly alone and I'm not doing things to fill the void. I'm just sitting in it. Meaning, like, I used to get on dating apps and swipe and be bored and talk to people just because I was bored. I'm not on any dating sites. I'm not talking to any man. There's not one man in my life right now. And I can tell you I'm in the happiest I've ever been right now because I'm seeing things for what they are. I'm seeing now how I should be treated as a human being and as a woman. I'm seeing that I deserve the good love. It doesn't matter if I have 2 baby dads. It doesn't matter if I did the things that I've done in the past that is, fucking horrible. I still deserve great love. I do. I'm a good person. And I feel like it's coming and I don't need to rush it. But like being utterly alone and not using men as a way to fix it has taught me a lot about myself. A lot of the things that I've done in my past was male-centered. And now that I'm decentering that and I'm just like and I'm not doing this because I hate men. I love men. I want a man, a really good man, a God-fearing man, a man that loves me 100% for me and don't want to change me. You know, I mean, I know you change in relationships, but don't want to like change the essence or control me, or I can't fit in a box. I've never been able to be the type of girl that fits in a box. I just won't. I'm loyal as hell when I do find somebody though. And all that will be seen. You know, I don't have to do that. I don't have to repeat myself 100 times about anything. You're just going to know. So, like, not having men fill that void has been big for me because I've never been able to do that. And I've been doing it now. And I feel very great about it. Like, and even before when I was talking to this last guy, he was the only man that I had been talking to in general anyway, because that's just what I do. I lock in on one person and I like to see where it goes. And when it goes away, away, the old me would be, okay, well, I'm going to get back on the dating app and just keep looking for love and keep looking for love. And I stopped doing that because I was doing the same thing, expecting different results, and that's insanity. You can't do that. You can't do that. So when I knew things were ended with him, I just knew I could not go back doing the same thing that I had been doing for the past 4 years. Because I've been actively searching for love for the past 4 years, thinking I'm going to find in every man I meet, in the beginning, it's all different, but like, even I myself am guilty of love bombing people because that's, I feel things very fast, and I had to realize that I need to put the brakes on because I'm not feeling that. That's just my anxious attachment. That's just me being anxious and also I need to learn that when I'm super anxious, that's not a great thing. That means that man is not meeting a need of mine, or I'm not regulating my own emotions and putting them off on that person, which doesn't make it very good for them either. If I'm going to come into a relationship, I need to learn how to regulate my own emotions without the help of anything but just myself. And I plan to do that. I'm happy that you guys are tuning in, and I'm glad that you guys stick around and listen to me. We did really good last week's episode. I'm going to start, telling stories on here and getting more collective. But right now, I'm just going to give like a week by week what's up. Like everybody, a lot of people's like, Brandy, we listen to your podcast. I love that. If you have any ideas on things that you want me to talk about, then you can just email me at brandyisloud@yahoo.com, and I'll get back to you, whenever I can. Also, hug your kids, love on them. Make sure you know that they are little tiny human beings and they need love too. And they need to know that you're going to be there for them emotionally as well. We get caught up in these day to day where we're going to work every day, we're cleaning the houses, we're making sure they eat, we're making sure they stuff. But sometimes we kind of forget to ask them how they're feeling, how they feel. I try to talk to Bailey when I'm talking to Bailey. I try to ask her how her day's going, how was school, she having a good day with her friends. I want to know these things so I can help emotionally. And I let her be, if she's having a frustrating day and crying and upset, I let her have those and sit in those emotions. I don't try to mask them, ground her for being a human being and having feeling and emotions. And I think that I didn't have enough of that as a kid, so that's what I try to do for mine. I hope everybody has a great Sunday, and I hope they have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week.